Hi, my name is Angela Larange. I am here to introduce myself. I am a mother with 4 daughters that are grown. My youngest one is 18. I have one granddaughter. I live in a small town, Stillville, Missouri. It's a river town, and it's out in the country. We're about 80 miles from St. Louis. Um, my mother is from this town. My father was born and raised on a reservation in Wisconsin and joined the Air Force when he was about 17. When he got out, he met my mother. He worked at McDonnell Douglas. Um, I had kind of a strange or unusual childhood, I guess, from the norm. Um, they packed us up and moved us back out here to Stillville, Cherryville actually, where my grandparents are from, my mom's folks. And my father started a sign business of his own. Um, he took us to the middle of the woods down this logging road. There wasn't really a road. It had grass growing in the middle, and it was just dirt down through the woods. And um, he had some furniture and stuff. We thought we were moving to our new house. And he proceeded to unload it underneath this huge cedar tree that was in the middle of this field, surrounded by woods, and right at the edge of Clark National Forest. And he said that was where we were going to live. So we did. We lived under that tree until they got the frame of the house put up, in which we moved in and lived on dirt floors with no electric or water until they got the well dug and all this. So as time went on, we had, our plumbing and electric. It took us a couple years to get electric, so no TV. I grew up pretty much isolated from the general public except for going to school. I saw people at school. It was 40 miles to our local high school. I didn't know that it was too odd until I grew up. We really didn't see people too often, so I had nothing to compare my life to. I grew up riding horses and having wild pets, blue jays and squirrels and, fox, whatever I ran across or I caught, or came to me. And it was a nice childhood, but it didn't really prepare me too much for the real world. So I did make many mistakes once I grew up and I got out into the world, which they had tried to shelter me from. Well, I wasn't too good at choosing when or who to marry, so I raised my children pretty much on my own and worked. Of course, there was no time or chance to go to school, and so I always dreamed of going to school. And now my kids are raised. I was working at a local machine shop here in Stillville, which is where I brought my children back to as well. And I had an injury from an accident, and it put me in bed longer than I was allowed for sick leave, so I was laid off permanently. And I'm just now starting to get on my feet, physical therapy and all that. I had to lay in bed for 3 months, and that's when I decided that now was the time to try to do something. And I thought online would be perfect for me since I was, stuck in bed, and it was better than staring at the walls or playing Farmtown. I wanted to do something with my time, and going back to school was what I always dreamed of, and IADT made it possible for me. I love the flexibility of it. I chose web design because I would like to be able to freelance, maybe, well, I didn't know how my injury would end up. I didn't know if I would be back on my feet all the way, if I would have issues, which they say I still may. With circulation to my foot, I crushed my heel, so it was a big ordeal with the surgery. And so I thought with something like this, I could work remotely if necessary. And so the injury pretty much brought me to IADT. Other than that, I do have hobbies. I like animals, pets, reptiles, like this. This is Tuto. He's a veiled chameleon, and he's a really cool pet. And he has kept me company a lot while I was stuck in bed. So did Bud, my little... I've got a bearded dragon, and she's a cool little girl. A little more laid back than Tuto. So I like to walk the river and collect driftwood. I like to make things out of it, and different things from nature, rocks, whatever I find that I see something in it, you know, before it's created. I'll see something out of a shape, and I'll collect it, I'll take it home, and I'll make something out of it. I like to do beadwork on a loom, make leather bags or jewelry. However, I can't make earrings because once I make something one time, I can't stand to make it the second time exactly the same, which with beaded earrings, that is pretty much a requirement. So that was the end of that for me. And I hope I'm doing okay with this interview. It's kind of odd to talk to someone who you can't see, so I just feel really lucky if I get this uploaded the way I'm supposed to. And it's very nice to be in class with you all, and I'm learning as I go. I don't have all the software knowledge. I didn't even know how to do anything in Microsoft Word before I started this course, and I just learned to copy paste about a year and a half ago. So yeah, it takes probably a lot more time and struggling for me to accomplish the assignments we have to do when we're talking, you know, Illustrator or even Photoshop, which I've gotten somewhat used to Photoshop, but each new one with 2 classes is very time constraining, and if, you know, life slows down out here a little bit, I can keep up unless I have a technical difficulty. So I do appreciate those of you who are so helpful in Maryland. That would definitely be you. Marilyn's helped me a lot with some technical issues, and she's very good. And I appreciate the class, and I'm so glad we can go to school online. It's nice to meet you all, and I look forward to the rest of our classes together.